Welcome to the Moon Tribe podcast. I'm Simona, your host. I'm here to inspire heart-led entrepreneurs and conscious leaders to follow their purpose and create a life of freedom, wealth, and magic. Welcome back, tribe. We are starting into April. I don't know how this happened. 2024 is moving very fast, right? We are now moving already into the second quarter of 2024. If you're in business, it's a great time to look at your strategy and make your plan for 2024. And of course, energetically, we are in a powerful time. We are moving through eclipse season still. We are now in between the two eclipses. It's called the eclipse window. Last time I was speaking about this powerful lunar eclipse in Libra that we had. Next week, we have the even more powerful total solar eclipse in Aries. So there's a lot coming up around our relationships, around dynamics in relationships, and around really owning our power. So with Aries season, we are focusing on leadership. And today I want to share with you the 3 steps to rise into your conscious leadership. And first of all, I want to say, depending on what stage you're at in your business, maybe you're just starting out, or maybe you're just 1 year or a few months in business. And when I say stepping into your conscious leadership, maybe you're like, oh, but I'm not really a leader. I feel it's really important to say we are all leaders. I believe that we are all leaders. There are already people in your life who you are really inspiring just by the way you live your life, the choices you are making in your life. Just have a think about people in your life that you are already influencing and inspiring. So start from there. And some of us have been in business for a longer time. We have our community, we have a team, and you are maybe more comfortable with the idea of being a leader and being a conscious leader. So then the question is for you, what is the next level? What does the next level of your conscious leadership look like? I always say, if you've been in my world for some time, the world needs conscious leaders more than ever. I really feel that deep down, because the people who are running the world, I don't know if I can really call them leaders, but look at the state of the world we are in. So I feel as a conscious community, we have a responsibility in these times to really start to step up. Instead of waiting for someone to give you permission to become a leader, please, if you just take one thing from listening to this, empower yourself to become a leader, to be the leader the world needs. And we are all asked to step up. That's why I say to rise into conscious leadership. And it might feel uncomfortable because we are going to be more and more in the spotlight. We need to allow ourselves to be seen and to take a certain responsibility for guiding the people around us, guiding our community. And this is what many of us are here to do on the planet in these times as we are shifting into a new paradigm. A lot of people are gonna need guidance and support and healing and all the beautiful tools and gifts you are sharing through your work and through your business. So without now going too much into this topic, just see it in the bigger context of your mission. Your mission requires you to step into your leadership. Okay, let's talk about conscious leadership. For me, conscious leadership compared to just leadership, conscious leadership requires a certain level of authenticity and of self-awareness. So instead of running on unconscious patterns, we are actually more conscious. We have a level of reflection and self-awareness. And we can also bring a level of authenticity to the table. So I feel that is important for the way I see conscious leadership. And also I want to differentiate leadership versus being a manager. So back in the days when I was still working in a corporate job and I was in London working in different agencies, I was in the creative industries back then. And I had lots of people who were like kind of my boss or a creative director or whatever. So there are certain hierarchies, right, in organizations. But I feel I've had many managers and I didn't have so many leaders. So what is the difference between a leader and a manager? Especially now, we're looking more at the old school world, the old world of business, the corporate world, versus the new businesses that we are creating. I want to say new earth businesses. What are the new generation of businesses gonna represent? What do we want to create? What are we gonna stand for? And how can you as a leader show up for guiding us into that direction? So for me, the main difference between a leader and a manager is a leader leads with a vision and a manager tells people what to do. So it's more top down. There can even be a sense of micromanaging if you ever had someone micromanaging you. A manager is more about control and checking that you're doing all the things that you're meant to be doing. Versus a true leader inspires people and inspires them through the vision, through the shared mission to get them on board. It's like I see a leader more like the captain of the ship who keeps the destination in mind. And of course, as a captain, you can't do everything yourself. It's impossible. And it also doesn't make sense. You need to have people to keep everything running and support the vision. So together we are sailing in the right direction. So there's a lot of giving people a sense of ownership and a sense of direction. And a good leader will energize people so they want to be part of it. They want to be part of your movement. They want to be part of your business. They want to work with you. They want to collaborate with you. So that's, as a leader, you can spark this fire in people. That's what we are looking for. I find a really, really powerful and important insight is this. All leadership starts with leading yourself. All leadership starts with leading yourself. So how you lead yourself, that is what other people will see. And that's the tricky part, right? Because leading ourselves, as we all know, is not always easy. Are you actually doing what you're telling other people to do? Are you able to respond in situations like you would like your team to respond? You are a role model and people will naturally be drawn to you if you are embodying the ideas you're talking about. We're going to go deeper into this in a moment. But the thing about this is, as you might be realizing at that point, there is no quick fix. How do you lead yourself, right? That is by doing the inner work. That is by becoming more and more conscious about your patterns, about your maybe unconscious shadow parts that are playing out, about your childhood stuff that is suddenly coming out at work because you get triggered, right? About owning your power so you are actually someone who is in their authentic power and people respect that. There's a natural respect, there's a natural charisma from someone who can hold this level of power. So it's a work in progress. And the good news is you don't have to be perfect. You don't have to have it all figured out. So you can say, okay, now I can become a conscious leader. Of course, we are all work in progress. It's about doing the work. It's about being on the journey. You don't have to be perfect. That's where we're going to come back to the authenticity. We don't need to be perfect, but we need to get started and get people on board. That's what a leader does. So the Aries energy I was talking about last time can also really help us because it's about taking action, not overthinking, not holding ourselves back, not procrastinating, but just take the first step and then take the next step and then take the next step. That's how we're going to get there. So with this attitude, I invite you to step into your conscious leadership, So here are 3 steps that I feel are important. The first one is standing in your truth, standing in your truth, and being anchored in your truth, because your truth is very powerful. Then you are in your power when you are in your truth. So that's where we come to the idea of authentic leadership. What does that mean to be an authentic leader? And for me, maybe also in comparison to often in my experiences of working in a job, in a 9 to 5, in the more corporate, more traditional business world, I feel there's a high degree of people just wearing a mask, of being completely separate who you are showing up at work to who you are in your personal life. And it's even not encouraged to bring it in too much unless it's a more contemporary company. It's like what you have going on in your private life. If you're going through a divorce, if someone in your family has just passed away, if you're dealing with a major personal challenge, that is affecting us in our work, in our business, right? So I don't understand still why we are meant to just hide it and pretend nothing is happening. It's of course impossible. We are also, as human beings, we have good days, we have not so good days. Sometimes you couldn't sleep well. Often, when someone has a baby, they have months of not feeling as energized, not feeling as awake, just doing their best. But it's just a reality, right? So as an authentic leader, the idea is you can bring your human experience fully in, and you can be authentic. You can be more transparent. And that requires us to be vulnerable. Being vulnerable is not so easy. And it can often feel scary, bringing this level of honesty to say, I'm sorry, I'm just not having a great day, or I forgot this, right? Just human, it can happen. Taking responsibility for when we make mistakes and cleaning it up, right? Actually being the role model in it. And no matter, where you are in your business, it's about leading yourself. So it takes courage to show up in this authentic way. It takes courage to be vulnerable, to share, allowing ourselves to be seen in our humanity, in the messiness that life sometimes is. It's not always so shiny as we want it to be. We all have our things to deal with in the background. So what I've really learned is that as scary as it can be to be vulnerable, but as a leader, you can ask for support. You can say, listen, can you help me out? This is happening right now, or I need more support. I don't have the best day. How can we work together to make it work? Involve your team, involve your people, be honest what's really going on. And what that creates is actually a deeper connection, because people can feel you. They can feel that you are just a human being as well, and you're just doing your best with whatever is going on. So the right people will step up to support you, to be on board, to be behind you. And we need to allow them. We need to be vulnerable enough and authentic to share. Standing in your truth also has to do with knowing your values. And also knowing your values as a leader is very important. What do you stand for? What are the values that are important for you? So there are your personal values, and then there are, of course, the values in your business. Knowing your values and also embodying them, which is something we come to in a moment. So the first step is stand in your truth. Second step, for me, leading from the heart. Leading from the heart. And that is for me really, we are moving into a new paradigm. What does it mean to be a new earth leader? Because I feel in the old way of business, there's so much that is disconnected from the heart. It's just been mind, ego, short-term profits, corruption. There's a lot of things that are not going well in the current business world. They are not benefiting the greater whole. They are not benefiting humanity. So how, as conscious leaders, creating a new earth, a new world to live together, I feel we are gonna do a great job if we're leading from the heart, bringing in also more of the feminine qualities, thinking long term, thinking for future generations, leading with love, leading with compassion, leading with care, truly caring about people instead of only the numbers. When did that happen, that we started measuring success in this way? How can we be in service? A conscious leader is about being in service. It's not about you, but it's about you enabling and becoming a channel for creating something for the greater good. So the question is, what can you give instead of what can you get? And let your principle be to leave people and places better than you found them. How can you leave people and places better than you found them? That is leading from the heart. That is taking this initiative to be the change we want to be in the world. Follow your heart, you know what to do. So the other piece about being connected to the heart, leading from the heart, is being really connected to our higher purpose, our dharma, our soul purpose, which is something I speak a lot about here on this podcast. When you are deeply connected to your purpose, you have this bigger vision, and then you share this vision with people, and you are passionate, you are on fire. People will want to get on board. People will want to be part of what you are creating. People will ask you, how can I get involved? These are the type of people you want to have on your side and in your business and in your world. The people who are on fire. You are lighting the spark in them, and then together you are ready to go. And so when you are sharing the vision and when you have the mission for everyone moving in the right direction, that's when you can also empower people instead of having to control them that they're doing their job. You can empower them so they can bring their best work to the table. So this is leading from the heart. And then the third step, which I think that is the mastery, that is the level of mastery, which is embodiment. That has to do with walking our talk. Not just saying that you want other people to do it, but you do something different. Actually living it, being the living example, being the role model. That is true leadership. And it has to do with our inner alignment, being in alignment with the vision, with the values that we say we have. And there's an aspect of integrity. There's an aspect of doing the right thing because you know it's the right thing, even if no one else is watching. Something I feel also very important, which somehow got really lost in the old business world. So how can we bring back the integrity that is connected to truth? That the frequency of integrity is very powerful. And energy doesn't lie. So the embodiment is, we can't fake it. We can't tell other people to do it, but we do it differently and think they won't notice. They will notice. They will feel it. They will know it. And that's okay. We don't have to be perfect, but we need to walk our talk. We need to be honest. I'm not saying it's easy, but that is literally the next level we are invited into. And the beauty of it, when you embody it, there is a sense of your energy does the talking. Your presence fills the room when you walk in. Your energy speaks for itself. We're talking here about the archetype of the sovereign, which is the king, the queen, who is fully holding him or herself in the highest integrity, in the highest power. And everyone sees it. There's a natural reverence. There's a natural sense of feeling inspired by someone like this. There's a natural leadership. Does that make sense? So this is what we aspire to. And of course, I understand when I'm sharing this, it might feel a little intimidating, or it might feel a little bit like, oh my God, I have so far to go, or it feels a lot. So if you're feeling that, just want to encourage you, take a breath and know, as I said in the beginning, you don't have to be perfect. Just get started. I'm not perfect. No one is perfect. The people you are looking up to are also still work in progress. We are all work in progress. Welcome to this human experience. It only has to do with your commitment to walk the path and to do the work. And as I said earlier, there is a certain amount of inner work required to walk this highest path. There's a certain amount of healing needed, of shadow work, and then being able to really own our power, because we're talking about expressing our highest potential through this leadership. That's why, in my experience, both working with my coaches and also working with my clients, I know it firsthand that it is hugely helpful to have the right support to manage this deep transformation and personal growth, collapse the timeline. Because, as you know, sometimes we can be turning in circles and looping in the same old patterns. So it is very helpful to have the right guide, have the right mentor walking on your side. And also what I've learned is that the power of a coach can also be to be our mirror, to show you your blind spots. Because the thing is, we are all like fish in the water. We can't see ourselves. We can see our blind spots. We can see where we are holding ourselves back. So having someone to be this reflection is helping to shift things so much faster. So having someone who can be this reflection and also call you out so you know where you need to do the work, it really collapses the timeline. For a deep transformation like this, I have developed the crystal method, which I'm working with my clients, with my one-to-one and group clients. And the steps in the crystal method are very powerful to create this deeper transformation. The first step is clarity, knowing where you are, knowing where you need to go. Clarity is very important. The second step is rewiring all the old patterns. It's an aspect of alchemy. Then yes, saying yes, being all in, making the decision, going for your dreams, going for your vision. That is hugely powerful. Next one is support, getting the right support so you feel joyful and easeful as you are on this journey. Trusting that everything is unfolding perfectly and that all your manifestations are coming at the right time. Taking the right aligned action, and then leadership. For me, that is the ultimate level of mastery, that we are showing up as conscious leaders. So for me, that is very important in my work and how I'm holding my clients to really embody this level of leadership. As we are moving into this new paradigm, to this new world, we need to go from self-mastery to collective mastery. Self-mastery to collective mastery. So doing this inner work of mastery ourselves, and if enough of us do it, collective mastery, there's this rising of consciousness on the planet. And as I shared in the beginning, I believe that the world needs conscious leaders more than ever. Now is the time. I feel 2024 is a very powerful year. There's also a reason why the eclipses are in Libra and Aries. They are really guiding us. They are telling us and showing us the way. May you be one of these new conscious leaders. Thank you so much for tuning in. And if you would like to dive deeper into doing this inner work, I have also created 2 powerful online journeys as part of my series Initiation, and they're called Archetypes and Power. They are both very much connected to this. So I will drop the link in the notes below. You can have a look. But they are short online journeys that guide you to do the work yourself, if that's the right first step for you. Thank you so much for tuning in. I would love to hear your insights about today. Feel free to share it with me on Instagram. And meanwhile, please remember to share your magic. Thank you for listening to the Moon Tribe podcast with me, Simona Shimanovic. I'd love to share my free abundance meditation with you. Go to simonashimanovic.com and join the tribe.